My name is Velma Hutchins, and I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar where we're going to walk through and highlight new product functionality, specifically for our nonprofit and higher education clients. I'm an account executive here at RelSci, and I focus solely on the nonprofit space, and I come from a nonprofit myself, so I'm really excited to share with you some new features that we created just for you guys. I'm also joined here by my marketing colleague, Chelsea Briggs. So we'll be on the line for about 20 minutes today, and you can submit any questions throughout the webinar through the chat question feature within the GoToMeeting. We'll have time at the end to answer your questions. So today what we're going to talk about is we're actually going to show you how to take advantage of some new tools for your organization's goals. So we'll help you to learn how to use the donor module, the RSVP tool, the events tool, and then we're going to touch on a few basic concepts of RelSci along with more donation data and something called Prop People, which is going to be really exciting. Let's go ahead and let's get started. So RelSci is a great tool for you to use for your prospecting and your planning. Whether you're looking to find new donors, you want to identify guests for your next gala, or you want to organize the events that you already have in the works, RelSci can help you along the way. So let's get started with how we can make your lives easier. First, I want to start out by reminding everybody of what these numbers are here on the right. So this is the way that the platform customizes itself around you. You'll see this number right here says 201 in the red. So these are what I call my door openers, right? So for you as an organization, this is somebody that you can rely on for an introduction to either other people or institutions that you're targeting. This is going to be a reference point that RelSci first uses each time you look at any entity in the system. RelSci treats everything that you look at as a target. We're always showing you what your warmest introduction is to that entity. Okay? Here on the left-hand side, you'll notice that we have some lists, right? And then you have tools on the right-hand side, which is what we're going to focus on. And then in the middle, you have the news feed. And this is going to include news on your targets. This is going to include news on your board members, anybody that you want to stay on top of, or any institution that you want to make sure you're getting the most recent coverage on. Okay? So today, what we're going to do is we're going to actually focus on tools here on the right-hand side, and then this module here at the top. And let's go ahead and let's look at that one. So this is called the donor module here, right? And the purpose of this is to assist you in your prospecting, right? This is one of the first features that you're going to see when you log into your account. It's going to highlight 3 potential donors that have donated to similar causes as the organization that you're affiliated with. And we base this off of NTEE codes from GuideStar. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's just take a look at Bill Mack here. This says that he's donated to Penn. Okay? Josh donated to the Greater Boston Food Bank. And so these are 2 different causes, right? We have a cause-based one and we have a higher ed one. Let's go ahead and let's look at a profile. Let's say that you happen to be a cause-based organization and you want to know a little bit about Josh because number 1, he's in your area. Number 2, he has a proclivity to give to causes just like yours. Let's check him out. We're going to go right in, okay? And this is what a profile is going to look like. So here you have that one common relationship, right? So, hey, how can I get in front of Josh? What's my warmest introduction? That's what you'll always see. You'll have your colleague's shortest path. Hey, does my CEO know anybody who can get me in front of Josh? Let's keep scrolling down. Let's look at that relationship summary. Hey, who does Josh know? We'll have education. We'll have that career history, both current and prior. The great part is that we've aggregated all that information into one place for you all, so you don't have to look at a bunch of different resources. We'll have those nonprofit boards. And then we'll have those donations and grants, and boom, there you go. It's right there. First donation. He donated to the Greater Boston Food Bank, and he gave over $388,000 between the years of 2005 and 2013. hold on to your hats, everybody. Let's keep scrolling down. We'll have those political donations, those top recipients. We'll have public holdings, comp. We have tons of great information on people, right? Let's go ahead. Let's scroll up. Okay. Going to go to the top. Now, that's what you're going to get with the donor module, right? And that's what we do when we explore people who might have a proclivity to give to our organizations, okay? So let's go ahead and let's move on to the tools on the right-hand side. First, let's start with that events tool. You'll notice it's right under lists, okay? We don't have any events right now, but that's about to change. So say that you have a gala coming up. Say that you have a golf outing. You want to set it up. Let's start with one of my customers, the KIP Foundation. Let's go ahead and just use them as an example, all right? What I would do is I would go to my events tab, and as a development person, I would say, all right, I want to create a new event. Let's call it the KIP Gala, okay? And you'll notice here that you have a lot of other optional information that you can add too, but for the purpose of today, let's just keep it really simple for you all, okay? Oh, let's hit save, all right? So here we have an event, but there's not much information attached to that event. So what do we need? We need a guest list, right? Let's come on down to the tool here on the right-hand side called RSVP Search. Here's the next tool. So this is going to help you to manage your event, right? So who do we want to invite? Let's go ahead and let's aggregate a list of our board members as an organization. Let's go ahead and let's start there because we want to maximize all the information that we have, right? So let's put in KIP Foundation, okay? And I want to explore all the aggregate relationships of all the individuals who are on my board. Okay? So here we have a lot of relationships. We have over 5,000, okay? So that'd be a huge guest list, right? Let's go ahead and let's narrow this down, okay? And let's see how we can really get some value out of this. Let's add a couple filters because obviously, we're not going to think that those 5,000 people are necessarily good candidates for our gala. So let's go ahead and let's see anybody who's given to youth development, right? Education. All right, so we have a little bit over 1,600 results, okay? So what we want to do is we want to add this to an event. This is a great starting point. Let's click on event and boom, there you go. Here's our KIP Gala that we just created in the events tool before we came to the RSVP search. Let's highlight that and we're going to click save. Okay? Let's go ahead, let's hit OK. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to that event tool and we're going to say, hey, there's our KIP Gala. Let's go ahead and take a look at who's in there. And there's your list. Right? So something that's going to be really valuable to you all here is if you want to make edits, right? If you want to turn alerts on, right? So something very cool is that out of this list, you'd be able to turn on alerts for insider transactions. Who's come into some money recently? Who's sold stock? That's what now is we're going to move into unlinked donation data. So to see this, we actually have to go into a profile. So another one of my clients, let's go ahead and let's look at the Smithsonian. into their profile and see what donations they've received. So you'll see this for all organizations, by the way. The purpose of this category is to show you as many donations as possible to any organizations that you look up in RelSci. As you can see, we have great data on nonprofits and foundations all alike, right? So we have key staff, we have board members, etc. But let's go down and let's get to that info that we wanted about those donations, and let's click into it. There we go. Nonprofit donations and grants received. Let's click into See All. Okay. And we have quite the list here, right? So let's just take 2012 as an example. So what we've done here is we've added as many donations as we can find to these organizations for the purpose of you all being able to see what people and organizations might have a proclivity to give to certain causes. And this is going to be great for reverse searches. So who's given to that same organization in your area? Who might be a good target for us? Here you go, right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move to prop people. Okay. So I'm going to use the KIPP Foundation as an example for this. So RelSci is going to call out individuals that work in an organization that's profiled, but they might not have a RelSci profile themselves. A good example of this is going to be a middle manager or maybe a grant writer at a foundation, or maybe you're trying to get to a middle person at a corporate foundation, which is something that I actually hear a lot from many of my clients. Okay, so again, you have right here KIPP Foundation, and you see two relationships. So these are two people who I know at the KIPP Foundation. So I know Teresa, and Mariam happens to be at the KIPP Foundation as well, but she's not profiled in RelSci, so I've added her, right? So this is going to be great for smaller nonprofits who don't have a lot of relationships or a large board list. They can really benefit from this, because say that you're trying to get to Amex, say that you're trying to get to Google or any other organization. This is going to call out to you if any of your colleagues have a connection that you may not have known ever existed to get you to that institution. Okay, so what I'm going to do really quickly is let's see how that works in Pathfinder. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm going to jump into one of the most important tools of all here on the right-hand side again. And let's say that my firm is trying to get to the KIPP Foundation. Right? Here you go. Let's go ahead and let's see what our paths are. And as you can see, what would show up is that I know Miriam, and that's what my colleagues would see too. All right. So we went through the relevant tools for the day here on the right-hand side, and now as we wrap up the webinar and begin our Q&A, I hope that you'll find these specialized nonprofit tools within the RelSci platform helpful, and that they only bring you more success and really make your workflow easier when you're prospecting new donors and when you're planning your new event, right? So I'd now like to open the group to any questions that you might have. And I'm here to walk through any examples that you'd like to go over as well. Thanks so much for your time, everybody.
Great, thanks, Selma. So we have a couple questions. First one is the donor module only available as an module, or is it something that is included in the package I have right now?
The donor module is included in the package that you have right now. All you have to do is reach out to us, let your account manager know that you'd like it turned on, and we'll